Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Tamel Pittman, proud owner of Uppercuts Barbershop.
And I'm Lonnie Horn, proud owner of World Class Faders Barbershop.
And you are watching the For the Culture podcast here with the United Barbers Club. Just to let you know, if you guys want to be a member, it's real easy. Go to UnitedBarbersClub.com. It's absolutely free. Email, name, and birthday, right?
Social security number.
We need your firstborn's blood sample.
Your mom's maiden
Blood
name.
type, yeah. Hey, man, I'm so excited. This is we have a guest today that I've seen in different parts of social media here and there, but to put a face, not only a face, to put a personality with the name, which is what we just got through talking about. It just excites the hell out of me, man. So with no further delay, man, we got the one and only Los Cutted in the building.
Hey, Chicago in the house. What's up, everybody?
Chi-Town. Not much, man.
Pleasure.
I know T probably got somewhere he want to go with it, but I'm gonna start straight with what you just said. Chicago. It tripped me out, man. We were just talking, and I'm like, wow, dude. All this time I'm tapping into you here and there, but not realizing that Chicago's the hometown. Yeah, man. How does it? I don't know. How does it feel being out somewhere like this and knowing that you're representing for the city like that, man?
It's cool, man. Everywhere I go, I rep Chicago big time. If you know me, if you got to talk to me, you know I either got J's on, a Chicago Bulls hat on, or something that represents Chicago, the colorway. But I just take pride in my city, man. You know, following it and living in the shadow of Michael Jordan and all the greats like Kanye and all that. It's good to be from somewhere that you know people have made it big. So just following the steps in the industry, man. That's all I'm doing.
That's fire, man.
Yeah.
I had to ask him that.
How long you been barbering?
I've been barbering for 24 years, man.
24 years. Now, what is it that was the change for you to get so well known in this industry?
I think just being in the front line of it all, man. Just, making my Instagram. I was just telling him that I got over 5,000 posts. I don't delete anything. So anyone that does look at my Instagram and wants to see what my journey is, you can go all the way to the bottom and see how it all started. Just being in the front line of everything and following mentors like Pacino the Barber that was doing a lot of stuff that was paving the wave. So following through with Pacino's and following through like he was doing I remember going to the show specifically and seeing him working for Wall and seeing him on stage, and to me being like, whoa, man, how gangster would it be to be on stage for a company like that? That's crazy. Or seeing him on magazines, or when he came out with his app. All that was just mind-blown because it wasn't being done in the industry. Nope. Mind you, I come from an era where people would be like, what do you do for a living? Like, you got a job? And I'm like, I just cut hair for like $5-10. And they're like, cut hair? Damn, what else you gonna do? So it was very frowned upon. People look down at it so heavily. So I take so much pride in this industry because I came from where that started, seeing people like Pacino's to now becoming a global educator, ambassador for both Level 3 and Babyliss, traveling all over the world, being on magazines, just doing everything that I've done, having my own clipper out and trimmer out globally. It's crazy, right? But we were just talking about you're thinking I'm not here, there. There's goals that people want to reach, but I think the one thing people need to remember that it isn't the goal that you want to reach. It's the journey that you got to follow through and all the BS that you got to go through. That's what's enjoyable. So right now you're telling me we want to get here, we want to get better, but enjoy this.
Yes.
Because this is, because I'll tell you what, if you guys are true entrepreneurs, which I can see that you are, it'll never feel like you made it. So if you have a goal or a certain place you want to reach, it'll never feel like you got to that mountaintop and you're like, I'm here. You'll always have, you'll live, it's a blessing and a curse. You'll always have that feeling of you're not good enough and you're not where you want to be. But if you embrace that and flip it and understand that, you enjoy the journey, and when you enjoy that journey like I have, things start to happen.
I don't know how you feel about this, man. Come on, thank you. I don't know how you feel about this, man, but to me, sometimes confirmations come spiritually through other people.
Energy don't lie.
We literally just had this talk right here. Was it this morning or last night in our hotel?
Last night. We've been having it a lot lately. A lot of people has been.
Yeah, but specifically what he just tapped on being enjoying the present thing that's going on right now. I literally just said that's what I'm discovering. Because you're gonna always keep on. Okay, I made it.
It's
here.
never gonna be good enough.
Right. So thank you for that confirmation, man. And I just love your energy. One thing I want to ask you is, So people looked at you, just a barber, $5 or $10. Where did you get that drive from to say, even though it's frowned upon, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it, I'm going to push hard through it? Where did you get that from, having that opposition at that time?
I was just, you know what, man? It wasn't even about just barbering. I could have been a rock collector. I could have been sewing sweaters. Whatever I would have got into, I would have been a beast at it, just simply because of my work ethic and how I operate and how I view things. I've never been someone that's followed people's ways. I've always tried to figure out my own ways, even if it meant failing 1,000 times. I've always figured it out. So when it came to barbering, yeah, I did what I had to do, and I had to operate in business-wise. If I work at a barbershop, I had to work and follow those rules. But you best believe when that shop closed, I did my own thing. So being a creative, being an artist, and I preach this all the time when I educate. Guys, you're going to get burnt out. 24 years, how many times do you think my fire burnt out? It burnt the hell out. But if you guys just take one haircut a week for yourself, so you do everything you have to do at the shop, but one day a week, you cut or do something that you love doing, whether it's color, designs, or anything fun, that what keeps that fire burning, and that's what you can share on social media, and that's you sharing you. You're not just sharing your basic fades and your basic. So that's how I was able to stand out, because I put in work. The work was being put. But when I was doing these creative, dope cuts, these designs that I got known for, or just doing anything fun with color, that's what really got my name out there, because a lot of people think that you have to wait on somebody to walk into your shop and ask for that. Whereas in me, I was recruiting people and paying people to get stuff done.
Got you.
Because by paying people, they can do whatever you want.
Yep.
Got you.
Yeah. We just talked about that.
Yes.
We just talked about that.
Yes, man. You should have been to dinner with us the last 2 days. Everything you're talking about is confirming it, man.
Because you guys get it. People sit here and be like, I put free stories up, free haircut, nobody bites. I'm like, well, dude, offer them $100 because that little $100 can get you a post that can go viral, that can create more opportunities, and that's literally like investing in your own self.
That's
yes,
real.
It is.
But
that's
I don't think
real.
people see that, man. People just sit around and wait for opportunity, man. And I never did that. That's what it was. I never waited for opportunity. I always created my own, man.
Now, with the coloring, how soon did that start after being a barber? Is that something
Color,
that you...
like vibrant colors or like enhancements?
Your vibrant colors.
Oh, that started late, man. I think that started around right after COVID. I met my brother Bobby Blends. You guys are familiar with Bobby Blends or not?
No.
Bobby Blends, he's a Honduran, like he's a Latino, but he's Honduran. He was really known for like trimming people's heads down and just bleaching them and doing like dope colorways and all that. So seeing that, I share this with people, like it's okay to get inspired by people, but just don't copy. You don't have to copy. Right? Get inspiration and then throw your own twist into it. That's how you become originality. Because the definition of originality is taking something and make it unrecognizable from its original source. That's the creativity. That's the definition of originality and creativity. So I took what he was doing, all that cool color, but now I was like, how can I make it my own? Well, guess what? I carved designs. So I started carving designs out and then adding color. So that all happened like 2021-ish.
Oh, wow.
So it's recent. But I've been going really hard with it. And if you guys don't notice, a lot of 80-90% of my models are females.
Yep.
Why is that? Is it more exciting to see a girl get her head shaved and get a design than a guy? Fuck yeah, it is.
Yes,
I don't know if I can curse. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Hey, relax. Hey, relax with us, Los. Be Los. Be Los with us.
Be you.
But that's one of the things when I became a platform artist is like, I remember watching people like, okay, Pacino's is up there doing a fade. Damn, this guy's up there doing a haircut, a taper. That was all cool, but when is enough enough? When am I going to get bored of seeing that?
Yeah.
So I've always known that if someone's passing by at a show and they see a girl shaving her hair off, getting a design down, the odds of them stopping to watch that are going to be greater than if I was just doing a lineup and a taper.
Do you realize that that's marketing genius right there? Are you familiar with Step the Barber?
Who? Steph?
Step the Barber. So Step's out of Atlanta. He's a heavy hitter too.
Okay.
I just met him in Dallas, and his whole page is full of women haircuts, nothing else. And he gave so much game about how it's a marketing pitch.
Yeah,
and no disrespect to the ones that aren't the model ones, but those are the ones that make it onto his page
100%.
because it's like fishing. You're throwing that hook out there. That's genius, man.
Thank you, man. And no, trial and error, man. You know, I used to do a lot of guys, and it was cool, but I just noticed that the one time I had a girl reach out, and she had a shaved head. She was like, let's do something. I seen how it spiked up. I'm like, oh, we got something here. And I just kind of went with it, you know?
Now, you're not just taking bleaching the hair and then just adding color. You actually got to be like a color specialist to be able to have it transition into like ombre and all that kind of stuff. Where did you go to get that craft from?
I'm a natural artist, man. As a kid, I used to draw and color all the time, you know? So Like when I say artist, I tattooed. A lot of people don't know. I used to tattoo for about 2 years.
They know now.
Yeah, in my early 20s, like 2021, I tattooed, but I couldn't tattoo and cut hair. And at the time, I was like, all right, what's paying the bills right now? I could tattoo one person and never see them again, or I can cut people that continuously come every week. So at the time, it made more sense to stick with hair because it was more consistent. But the artistic side of me, when I was getting burnt out and just doing regular haircuts, it started becoming a business. I started hating what I was doing, but I knew that every time I did something fun and creative, my artistic side, it lit that fire back up. So when I got into like designs and coloring and all that, that's just all me being an artist. That's me showing myself on the hair. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah. Can you share a little bit about your what's your barber world like now? Are you cutting in the shop? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Man, it's so cool, right? On Instagram, I see a lot of people arguing about like, how much should a barber charge? What's too cheap?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
But here's my thing, man. This industry is so big and so wide that there is no one way to do anything.
Nope,
you can't
talk
sit
about
here.
That all the time.
You can't sit here and tell people how. You could tell people what works for you and let them decide. But when I see people say, this is too expensive or this is too cheap or we need, focus on yourself, man. Focus on yourself. I make a living through companies that pay me. I don't have to cut hair, and I say that with all due respect.
Amen.
I can sleep all day and play video games all day, and I still get that check coming in every month from multiple companies, right? But AJ Majors in the building. But I cut hair because I truly love cutting hair. What I didn't like was working 12 hours a day like a damn slave. That's what I didn't like. So what I do now, I cut hair for 2 reasons: to stay sharp.
Yep.
And to stay in contact with the people that have been with me for 10, 15 years. And that still brings fulfillment into my world. So instead of doing 18 people a day, now I do maybe 2, maybe 3. And I only work 3 days a week. That is enough for me to say, I got it out of the way, I'm good, I feel good. But it gives me the most important thing, which is time. Financial freedom.
Yes.
I could do and create other things and get creative and do what I really want to do.
Yeah.
So when people sit here and say, and it's for everybody that's wondering, how much should I charge? Man, you charge what you want to charge. If you're too, and I said this a while back, they went viral. If you're too busy, you're too cheap. The day that you can't even eat your food because you're so busy, or you can't even see your family or your kids, when you're stressing like that, raise your prices. But if you're chilling and you got time and you got Angry Birds on your phone and you all types of, I ain't got a single game on my phone. But if you got that type of time, then you shouldn't raise your prices. If anything, you should be cutting hair for free just to prove the concept or to create content. When I was at a shop and I wasn't cutting hair, you know what I was doing? I was thinking of my next move. I was on YouTube. I was studying. I was never just killing time. If I wasn't cutting, I was working on my next move. And I think a lot of people, they lack that, man.
Yeah, that breakdown was big, man. Actually, you touched a lot of things that I'm working on myself right now. I love how you bought your time back. Like that's what you really just broke down in essence, man. You bought your time back, but the keeping in contact with the industry, man. That's fire. Are you at your own shop? Are you under somebody else's shop?
Man, I got a studio headquarters Chicago, 3,000 square feet. It's me and my photographer. I got a cyclorama wall. I got 2 stations with a stage. I got a podcast area in the back.
Doing all that content.
So a lot of people ask me like, yo, Los, what spiked that idea to create a studio? And if you guys haven't seen it, look up Headquarters Chicago. One word, Headquarters Chicago.
It's on your bio right here too.
Oh yeah, there you go. So that's my space, and you can actually look at like maybe one of the first videos, and here. Let me see. I'll pick the one video that are literally.
Man, the description of what you built is so dope.
So right here, this one right here. Watch that. So that's my space. So that people think, oh, that's your barbershop. That's my playground.
Whoa.
I got a bar in there, a kitchen. I got 2 bathrooms, 2 showers.
We're coming by. We're coming by to visit this spot.
Hey, when we come to Chicago, can we come and visit?
Of course, man. We could probably do a podcast there, dude.
No joke. We'll be
there get on your podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can you tell us about your podcast? Where it's at now?
Yeah,
what's
it's on
the goal
YouTube.
with it?
In the cut. That's what it's called. In the cut. So in the cut with whoever the guest is.
Yes.
I had so many great names. It's just so hard because I need to delegate. I have recorded so many episodes, but it doesn't hit because I don't have anyone to chop my clips up. But what I'm doing is building a foundation. I got big names on there, but sooner or later, when I get the time to hire the right person, I'm gonna have so much footage that I can chop up and then just unleash. So right now, I'm just building the concept behind it, and I do it because it's fun.
Yeah.
For you guys, it's very therapeutic.
You
guys get it, to sit here and just talk and shoot the shit, because as barbers, that's what we were bread to do is just to cut hair and shoot the shit with people. So the podcast, even though I don't make money off of it, even though I don't get thousands of views, one, the quality is phenomenal, and two, I could always come back 10 years later and look at that story with that person and be like, damn, look at that conversation.
I always say it feels like we're cheating. I say this a lot because I want to meet a Los Cutty. You know, I want to know more about his story. I want to know more than what I'm scrolling through right here. So I feel like, wow, we're blessed that we can say, hey, can we interview you? Yeah. We sit down, and now I can ask you all of those questions that
people want to know.
You couldn't get here. Yeah. So, no, it's dope, man. What made you start that podcast, and when did you start it?
So, man, listen, man. With me, I've always been, and I say this all the time, like, I take more pride wearing Barber t-shirts than I do Louis, Gucci, and all that, right? Fire. It's such an exclusive club that we're in that as a barber, it would make no sense somebody that works at Home Depot to wear a local barber. You know what I mean? Could they wear it? Of course. But it makes more sense for somebody like us to wear barber stuff.
Real talk.
So what inspired that was when COVID hit and we were getting these PPP loans from the government, I filed a very modest, request, and I got like 14 bans from the government, where most of my guys were out here buying dumb shit.
Yep.
I said, what can I get that's gonna eventually bring value later? So I spent another 5. I spent almost $19,000 on my equipment, lights, cameras, mics, everything for a podcast. And at first I was just testing stuff just to see what it was, but it wasn't until like about a year and a half ago that I really started taking it serious. And stuff that I bought in 2020, now we're in 2023 using this, and that's where my investment went. It was just the fact that as a platform artist, globally traveling, talking to people, I got really good at talking to people. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Why not just... there's not one person in this world as a barber that you can name that I don't have a reach, and I say that respectfully.
Yeah. No,
right?
that's real.
So why not take that weapon and be able to bring anyone I want on my podcast? Yep. Because if you say, hey, this person from London, trust me, if I don't know them, I know someone who does.
Yeah.
But right now, what I'm trying to do is just prove the concept that my podcast works, and once I do that, I'll be more than happy to invest in it and fly people out and to do all that shebang,
Nice. Let's talk about the industry a little bit.
Let's do it, man.
I want to know, where do you think our industry is headed? And then I want to ask you some other stuff about like man units and S&Ps.
Beautiful. The industry, man, listen, guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep it 100 because this is what I see.
This is what we want.
It's going to merge sooner or later, right? The women and the men is no longer going to be a male-dominated industry. I guarantee you.
We know
right?
that.
Cosmetologies are merging in, barbers are merging in. Everybody wants to learn from one another. They're making tools now. Babyliss is making tools. They're coming soon, matte black, where not only are you going to be able to have a clipper that's a matte black that looks fire, that's going to go along with the line of hot tools, curling irons, and all that. That's the same colorway as your tools. So as a barber, you're going to feel good on everything, right? Because it isn't like now you buy a badass clipper, it looks cool, but then you don't want to go get a curling iron that's like baby blue, you know what I mean? Or white and all that.
Right.
So to have an essential kit of everything, because now think about it, right? And this day and age, guys are letting their hair grow. You got guys that are more concerned about their hair products. Can you wax this? Can you do that? And then you got girls that are shaving their hair off and keeping their hair short.
Right. Real talk.
So it's no longer can I get a woman's haircut or a men's cut. Now it's like short or long. So my vision is that, one, from my experience, women are better employees. They buy their own shit. They're not borrowing from other people, right? They're very responsible. They're very nourishing, right? No, what's the word I'm looking for? Nurturing, right? So the way I'm seeing it, if women keep coming and killing the game, eventually they're going to take over if barbers, men, don't pick up the slack, because a lot of guys will become barbers simply just to do whatever they want and become their own boss. But they don't realize, dude, when you're an entrepreneur, you're going to work 10 times harder than if you're an employee.
Yes.
And if you can't even run your chair, what makes you think you're going to run an empire? Bro?
The way I describe it is, I tell them, you still have a job. The only difference is you own your job now.
Yeah, you're responsible for everything.
You own your job.
Man, dude, let me tell you like this, dude. Me being me and what I've created, if I would just go back to a barbershop and just rent my chair and that was all my obligations, oh, dude.
Right. You see the
amount of peace, the amount of peace and relaxation that I would have, but some people can't even get to work on time.
No.
But want to be a boss. I'm like, bro, listen, my uncle, and I don't mean to prolong this.
Oh, no.
Please, loosen up,
my uncle once told me, he was like, hey, mijo, what time you wake up? And I was like, I don't know, like 7, 8, depending on what time I go to bed. And he's like, man, he's like, must be nice. And I'm like, why you say that? What time you get up? He's like, I get up at 4. I'm like, 4 a.m.? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what time you get off? He's like, I get off at 5. And I'm like, what do you do when you get off? He said, man, I go home with my kid, eat, maybe go to the gym. I'm like, see, you get off at 5. I wake up, and that's when work starts. And when I go to sleep at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, that's when work ends. I don't get off. There is no time. They're like, from the moment I wake up to the moment I sleep, there's work that's being conducted. I don't be like, all right, I'm clocking out, guys. Let's go watch the Bears play and lose for 8 hours. No, I ain't got time for that. I'm constantly always working. So yeah, even though you wake up 3 hours earlier than you, I work 6 more hours than you after that. So that's one thing that I tell people. It's like, dude, I think a lot of people, especially the people that had real jobs, they have this mindset of clocking out and then not having, for example, if you're a barber, shop closes at 8, all of a sudden, let's go to the cross street to the bar, or let's go get some drink, or let's go here. You're clocking out mentally. As an entrepreneur, I never clocked out, because the day I clocked out for that business was the day I clocked in for my business, and I focused on my brand and all the crazy stuff that I would be at the shop till 3 in the morning filming, cutting to prove that. Yeah, I'm telling you. So that's the problem with a lot of people, man. And people that have regular jobs, they have this mindset of, I get paid Friday, and the weekend should be the one weekend they should have fun and go out and fuck that, man. As an entrepreneur, my weekends are Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I'm out when everybody else is at work, and when everybody's downtown and partying, I'm inside the house and I'm chilling. I stay away from the crowds. And having that mindset where I wake up every Monday morning and I'm like, what do I want to do today, compared to people that wake up Monday morning like, I got to go to work. Hell no, man. And my biggest advice that I can share with people is, guys, have a plan. Because even if you're killing it at the shop, if you're just steady in that hamster wheel, you're going to just fall into that matrix and you're never going to go nowhere. But if you have a plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, and you live by it, you can work as hard as you want, do the same thing over and over, but you have a plan that you're working towards.
Yes.
But if you don't know where you're going, you're just going to grow old. And you're going to be that 40-year-old, 50-year-old barber with a hunchback, cutting hair, and wonder why things are going the same way.
That's game.
So let's get into. I love all that, bro, and I can hear your passion in all of it too.
Yes, man. Because I want people to get it, man. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't get it.
But the way you break it down is so logical. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it. Man, I'm a talker, but I was like literally captivated. I'm like, this dude is like speaking our thoughts out loud. So it's so
great
dope
minds
to hear
think
you break
alike,
it down,
man.
man.
Of course.
One thing about all your explanation was the drive and the hustle that a lot of people would think, oh, Los Cutted, he got it because, he's Los Cutted. He got the followers. They don't know how much work goes into it.
Hell no, that followers.
It's funny you say that. I love that you shared the after hours. I'm in there shooting to 3 in the morning, because guess what? When we go to your page, that dope video, we're like, oh, okay, yeah, shoot one of those real quick. Yeah. That ain't no real quick shit. Like, no.
There's videos in there where you'll watch it. It's a 30-second video. You'll watch it, and people don't know that was a 3-day session.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it was just edited into. It's like a movie, right? If you watch a 2-hour movie. You don't realize that it took 2 years to film that, right?
Yes.
So you take that same concept and you wrap it up in content. Now, one of the things that I've also learned, guys, right now you're in the easiest stage of creating content. You no longer need great production. You pull out your cell phone and record anything and go viral, right?
Yep.
So people don't have, like with my boy barber Josh O.P. from London, he says if you just simply capture what you already do and not go out of your way, because think about it, say you want to go out of your way to create content. You hire a videographer, you hire a photographer, you pay for a model, you go all this shit, you buy a fit, you're on camera, you put in all this work and you have these high expectations and that video flops. But if you already just grind hard and you just capture those moments naturally, those can get more potential to go viral. Plus, it'll be easier for you to recreate because that's what you do already.
That's what you do.
That's so fire, man.
Yeah.
And simple.
Simple, bro.
Simple.
Less is more nowadays, man. I'm telling you.
Before we wrap this thing up, I do want to get your take on S&P and man units.
I think it's great, man. I think it's great. I think, it's very cool to see that. I mean, thank God I'm not balding or going bald, but I have to look at it from that perspective. Like, damn, if I was balding, would I get S&P? Fuck yeah, I would.
You would?
Or would I get it? Yeah, dude. Because here's the thing, right? And I don't knock this at all because think about it, man. I went to cosmetology school for 2 years. There was a time where I'll see a girl and I'll be like, hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? Nice to see you again. And then that next day I would see the same girl and I didn't recognize her. And I would walk past her and she would be like, damn, that's how you feel? And I'm like, oh shit, my bad, you look different. But in reality, right? So it's like, come on. Like, the least us men can do is if we want to apply a little enhancement or put some hair units and all that, because anything that can make you feel confident, man. And shout out to the people that are open with it and are on camera all over the world.
Yeah.
I could never. If I was getting that done,
close the blinds.
Private.
Nobody.
I'm not knocking it, man. I actually got S&P because I got a small reverse widow's peak, so I had a little line that goes up. So I got it done very lightly years ago. I got certified to be an S&P artist. When I got certified, it wasn't even a thing. But when I realized that, I was like, all right, man, I'm trying to step away from the chair, and doing S&P is bringing me back into the chair. So I stopped doing it, and now it became this massive thing. Yeah. So I'm with it, man. I'm with that. I'm with the man units. Shout out to Gucci Platano, who's a monster with the hair units, my Dominican brother. And I just love, he won't tell me names, but he's like, bro, Los, if I gave you all the celebrities that I do hair units on, I'll blow your mind. And I'm like, damn. Wow. But he signed NDAs, he can't talk about it. But it just goes to show, man, like, what you don't know won't hurt you.
Yeah.
Dang, that's deep.
You know what I mean?
I do appreciate you even being vulnerable enough to share. Like, hey,
I got some dots up here.
Yeah. I want to ask you about. I know we're wrapping it up. I want to ask you about what the statement you just said, stepping away from the chair. So earlier it sounded like you found a balance where you're not stretching yourself for 18 cuts anymore. Do you feel like you're still that's still a goal of yours to step away from the chair, or do you feel like where you've made it is your version of stepping away from the chair, to where this is the cool balance you can maintain right here without overdoing it, but still being in touch?
Well, where I made it today is exactly what I mean. Like, I consider myself to be retired because I cut hair because I want to cut hair, you know?
I have to.
And every person that comes in. So here's the thing. I cut hair because I want to cut hair, but at the same time, my time to me is more valuable now, right? So when I tell my clients, and this is very important too for anybody listening that's coming up, document your work. Document what you do. If you're traveling, if you're moving around and you're investing in yourself, document that and share it with your clients. So that's what I did from the beginning. When I was paying my own way at the exotic barber battles, paying my own boots, doing everything, I would come the next, that next week and be like, yo, bro, look, I was at this show, I met this guy. So for years, I kept doing it. So every time I raised my prices, people understood why. Because, Los, I see you, bro. You're growing, you're getting bigger. So when it finally got to $200 a haircut, yeah, did I lose people? Yes. But I also didn't just lose people, I redirected people. I was like, yo, bro, if you can't afford me, I understand, but check it out. My boy Jack, that's been next to me for 10 years, go to him. He'll take care of you. He knows how to cut your hair. So I always redirected everybody, and the ones that wanted to stay, they're like, no, fuck that. I need that Los cut. It's 200. Yeah. So not only am I cutting less, I'm making the same, if not more, because I'm charging them $200 a piece. So, but it took 15 years in the game of moving around to get to that. Not 15 years, 10 years. From 2012 to 11 years. It took that long to prove that concept. But I think a lot of people now, they work for a year at the shop, they get busy, and all of a sudden, it's 100 a cut. But it's like, dude, there's no foundation right here. You didn't prove shit. You just proved that you could get a little busy. Yeah. But if you blow up and you go viral, there ain't no foundation. You're gonna collapse just as quick, man. Dang. So stay humble, man. Work hard, prove that concept first, share your journey with your clients, because every time you level up, some people are not gonna level up with you, and some people are, and that's how you move, man. That's how you move up.
We're gonna have that be a drop the mic moment. We want to have other interviews with Los, so we don't want to get it all out right now.
I know, man. You're so interesting, dude. Like, questions just keep popping in my head, but we understand we gotta, keep it contained, man.
You know what, Bell? And a lot of people, I just did a podcast over there, and I got another one scheduled later.
Oh, dope.
And people are just like, man, bro, we're so lucky to have you. And it's like, dude, I don't look at this as in I'm doing y'all a favor, you're doing me a favor. This is a win-win for all of us.
I was about to say it's a two-way street.
We move, man.
If I could share my thought process, because a lot of people don't know me. You guys didn't know me the way you do after this, right? A lot of people don't know that. They just see what they see, and from what I see, like, I'll get girls that be like, man, you look like you're unapproachable, you look this, and I'm like, what is it about me that gives you that impression? Because I'm not out here flaunting money, I'm not out here with Gucci bags, so all I do is positive messages for barbering. But why do people think that I'm like that? And she's one of my girls is like, it's your facial features that give that away. So I love getting on here and sharing my word, because people look at me different now when they get to talk to me. When they get to talk to me, they're like, man, I didn't know you was this open, this cool. And this is why you guys are hooking me up, and I'm doing the same for y'all. So we work together, and we both win, you know?
Hey, I don't know if anybody picked up on what he said, but he said one of my girls. I pick up on little stuff. So
Well, you know what?
leave it there.
All right, no, so check it out. So, let me explain that. So,
All right.
I cut.
Hold on.
You turning red, Los. You turning red.
I got a lot of female clients that are
Okay,
gay.
okay,
So those are what I owe my girls because my boys are my boys, my girls are my girls.
Hey man, you got
Don't
just
pay
like we
attention
get to know
me,
you.
man.
You got to get to know
I'll
us.
poke at people.
Hey, he gonna
cock-block it over here.
he gonna grab it. Hey man, let me tell you though. I know you out here moving around a lot. I want you to know that the United Barbers Club, we just so blessed to be able to. It's not even just the name; it's the game, it's the process, it's the journey. Just the fact that you share all of that, man, that is so helpful. It's helped us.
Yeah.
Everything I hear right here, I'm always dialing it into what I'm doing with my barber business, So I just thank you, man. And I just want you to know we behind you 100%.
100%.
Actually 1,000 now. It's like I'm finna troll the hell out of your stuff, man. I'm just excited for you, man.
Of course, man.
All right. I know.
Go ahead.
What's next for Los? What's ahead of you right now, man?
Oh man, I just this is my last year with Babyliss. I just got word that they want to increase me for another 2 years, so that matches perfectly with my level 3 contract. That's another 2 years. So I think for the next 2 years I'll be traveling and doing what I've been doing. At the same time, still trying to figure out a way to, and I have a way. I just don't want to share it because you know what they say. Don't give all your secrets away.
Yeah.
So I have an idea of how to stay in the industry without having to cut hair, without having to travel, but still help the future out. So that's the goal, is that once my contracts with these 2 amazing companies are over in the next 2 years, I want to have something built up that I can fall back on, because I think what a lot of people do is they get lost in the sauce.
Yep.
They work for this company and it's all about the company, but they never work on themselves. So when that company cuts you off, and we all know how corporate gets down, corporate will just be like, hey man, we're going to go out a different way this time. Peace. So I've always been one of those, like a planner. I've always been preparing ahead. So I'm like, all right, before my contract ends, I need to know that when that money stops coming in, I got other money coming in. So sooner or later in 2024, you guys will see what I'm up to with MySpace, and ideally that would be my golden ticket to kind of fall back and still supply the industry with a lot of gems while I don't physically have to work anymore. You know what
Amen.
I mean?
Super inspired by you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Seriously, much success to you too.
I do. Likewise, brother.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Where is this coming out? YouTube?
It's coming out on Barberview TV. Hold on. Barberview TV app. They will be dropping this, I think, later in November, maybe early December. We're going to have a lot of shorts that we'll have on our YouTube and on our Instagram.
You got my number, man. Shoot me whatever, man. We'll love to share it.
Done deal, man. Any way we can help and support, too. Reach out
Likewise,
and
man.
let us know.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right,
Likewise.
man. Los Credit, United Barbers Club. Let's go.